What if I told you that everything you've been waiting for, every prayer you've whispered, every moment of doubt you've overcome, could culminate in a single 72-hour window that threatens to unravel it all? Mark your calendar and steel your nerves, because the dates October 17th to 19th are not just another set of days on the Investor Forum calendar. They are being whispered about in the back channels of international finance as a potential trigger point. A coordinated stress test designed to probe the very foundations of the Dinar and Dong investment landscape. This isn't speculation anymore. This is the sound of gears turning deep within the machine, gears that have been rusted in place for years but are now being forced to move. The core of the intelligence, which has been filtering in from multiple, seemingly unconnected sources, points towards a clandestine operation being run by a consortium of US and foreign banks. Their objective is deceptively simple: to conduct a live fire drill on their system's ability to handle a sudden, massive surge in liquidity requests for the Iraqi Dinar and Vietnamese Dong. Think about the monumental implication of that for just a second. Banks do not waste millions of dollars in man-hours, software diagnostics, and security protocols to test for an event they believe has a 0% chance of occurring. This is a preparation for a plausible reality, a controlled simulation of a global monetary shift. The insiders reporting this are not the usual forum hype men. They are mid-level analysts, compliance officers, and software engineers who have noticed anomalous code patches, dated foreign currency handling procedures, and urgent memos regarding exotic currency event protocols, all dated to coincide with this October window. This is the hard, tangible data that separates this moment from every false dawn we have ever experienced. This is the shift from abstract hope to concrete procedure. The system is literally being audited for its capacity to serve you, the holder. But here is where the narrative takes a darker, more urgent turn. This test is not being done for your benefit. It is not a benevolent gesture from the financial powers that be. This is a self-preservation tactic. They are testing the dam walls because they can hear the floodwaters rising. They know something is coming, and their primary concern is not your enrichment, it is the stability of their own institutions. They need to know if their systems will break under the strain of your collective success. This creates a paradox of immense proportions. The very event we have been waiting for is also the event that the system fears most. This internal conflict is what will make the period of October 17th to 19th so volatile. You will not likely see a public change in the international exchange rate on those days. What you might see, however, are the tremors, reports of banks being unable to process Dinar or Dong requests for a few hours due to system updates, confusing and conflicting messages from different branches of the same bank, and a coordinated wave of negative press suddenly flooding the mainstream financial media, all designed to create panic and confusion. They are preparing to manage the narrative, and the first step in managing any narrative is to control the flow of information and to test the reactions of the crowd. Your resolve, your very sanity, will be tested during this period. They will use every tool at their disposal to see if you will break, to see if you will sell in a panic, to see if decades of patience can be undone by 72 hours of manufactured chaos. This is the real test. The revaluation of the currency is the finish line, but this is the final grueling obstacle they have placed right before it. Understanding this reality is your only defense. You are not just waiting for a number to change. You are a participant in a high-stakes psychological and financial war game, and the first battle is scheduled for October 17th. Now, let me reveal the terrifying truth they don't want you to hear. The greatest weapon being deployed against you from October 17th is not an economic policy or a bank refusal, but a precisely engineered psychological operation designed to make you destroy your own investment. As we approach these critical dates, you must understand that the chaos you are about to witness is not random. It is a meticulously crafted theater of war where your mind is the primary battlefield. The architects of the current financial system have one singular goal: to shatter the unity and conviction of the Dinar and Dong holding community. They have studied our movements for years. They know our online gathering places. They understand our hopes, and they are now prepared to exploit every single vulnerability. The initial wave of this attack will manifest as an overwhelming flood of contradictory information. Imagine this scenario on the morning of October 17th. You wake up to a trusted forum moderator swearing they have confirmation from 3 separate bank insiders that the revaluation is live. An hour later, a seemingly legitimate financial news outlet publishes a scathing article declaring the Dinar investment a permanent scam, citing anonymous high-level sources. By the afternoon, deepfake video of a respected financial figure begins circulating, urging everyone to sell immediately to avoid a total loss. This is not chaos, this is a strategy. It is called information saturation, and its purpose is to overload your cognitive abilities, to push you into a state of paralysis and fear where the easiest way out appears to be giving up. They will use sophisticated bot networks to amplify these conflicting messages, making it appear as though thousands of real people are panicking and selling, creating a false consensus of despair. The second wave of the attack will be more personalized. You may receive emails supposedly from your own redemption groups or trusted gurus, claiming that a critical deadline has been missed or that a new unforeseen regulation has just been passed that invalidates a certain series of notes. These messages will be crafted with a deep understanding of our community-specific lingo and concerns, making them terrifyingly believable. Their sole intention is to trigger a cascade of panic selling to create a self-fulfilling prophecy of failure. They want to prove that the unwashed masses, the Tier 4B investors, are too emotional, too undisciplined to handle the wealth that is coming. This is their last stand. They cannot stop the geopolitical and economic forces pushing for a global currency reset, but they believe they can stop you from being a part of it. They are betting everything on the fact that your decades of patience have made you brittle, not stronger. They are convinced that the first sign of turbulence will cause you to jump from the airplane just moments before it lands. But you have a weapon they cannot counter: the truth. The truth is that every piece of genuine, verifiable data, from the IMF reports on Iraq's financial compliance to Vietnam's explosive economic growth and deliberate de-dollarization efforts, points towards the inevitable reality of a currency reassessment. The truth is that banks do not run multi-million-dollar system-wide diagnostics for currencies they consider worthless. The truth is that the very ferocity of this psychological attack is the clearest signal yet that we are on the right path and that our destination is closer than ever before. Your defense is not to fight every rumor, but to rise above the battlefield entirely. Do not engage. Do not try to debunk every lie on the forums. You must become a silent, immovable rock in the raging river of misinformation. Let the panic flow around you, but do not let it move you. Your plan was never based on a single 72-hour period. It was based on years of macroeconomic research and a fundamental belief in the value of your investment. Do not allow them to replace your well-researched certainty with their manufactured doubt. The days from October 17th to 19th will be the ultimate test of your inner fortitude, a test to see if you are truly worthy of the financial freedom that awaits on the other side. Here is the ultimate truth that will separate the victors from the victims when the dust settles on October 19th. The single greatest determinant of your success will not be what the banks did or did not do, but what you chose to do in the quiet of your own mind. The final and most brutal shockwave is not coming from the financial system. It is coming from within you, a seismic test of your spiritual and psychological readiness to cross the threshold from a person who hopes for wealth to a person who commands it. We have discussed the systemic preparations and the psychological warfare, but now we must confront the most dangerous phantom of all, the internal saboteur that has been programmed by a lifetime of financial limitation and societal conditioning. This is the part of you that, when faced with the terrifying prospect of actual, life-altering abundance, will suddenly find a million logical reasons to retreat, to sell, to self-sabotage. This is the moment where your deepest fears will pose as your most rational thoughts. You will tell yourself, it's smarter to take a small profit now than to risk losing everything, or this is clearly not happening, I've been a fool. Recognize this voice for what it is: the final, most potent weapon in their arsenal, and it is housed inside your own psyche. They are counting on this internal implosion. They have spent decades engineering a world where the average person is conditioned to believe they are unworthy of generational wealth, that such fortune is only for a select few born into it. The period from October 17th to 19th is designed to activate this conditioning like a sleeper agent. To overcome this, you must perform a radical act of spiritual and mental surgery. You must, right now, before this window arrives, vividly and emotionally connect with your why. This is not a simple exercise. I am not telling you to just think positive. I am commanding you to viscerally embody the reality you intend to create. Close your eyes and feel the weight of your financial chains shattering. Hear the specific sound of your last debt being paid off. See the exact look on your children's faces when you tell them their future is secure forever. Taste the freedom of a morning where your time is 100% your own to spend as you wish. This is not daydreaming. This is the process of neural programming, carving new pathways in your brain that are stronger than the old pathways of fear and lack. When the storm of misinformation hits, you must retreat into this fortified emotional reality, not into the frantic noise of the forums. Your prepared why is your bunker. This is what will allow you to interpret the chaos correctly. If you see reports of system failures at banks, You will understand it as confirmation of the test, not as proof of failure. If you see a wave of panic selling, you will see it as the weak hands being shaken out, strengthening the overall position of those who remain. You must become the calm, unshakable observer of the storm, knowing with unshakable certainty that the storm is a sign that the landscape is being transformed and you are positioned perfectly in the eye of it. The journey does not end on October 19th. It evolves. This 3-day window is a catalyst, not a conclusion. Your victory will be claimed not by a single action, but by the unwavering quality of your being throughout the process. You are being given the rare opportunity to not only receive wealth, but to earn it on a metaphysical level by demonstrating that you have the consciousness required to hold it, to steward it, and to use it for a purpose far greater than yourself. This is the final and most important revaluation that will occur. Now, I need you to do something more important than just listening. Your mission right now is to publicly solidify your commitment. In the comments below, I want you to type these exact words: "My peace is my power." This is not just a comment. It is a sacred contract you are making with yourself and this community. By typing those 5 words, you are declaring that you will not be swayed by panic, manipulated by fear, or broken by doubt. You are standing with the unshakable holders. Let's flood this comment section with a wave of unbreakable unity that will send a clear message to anyone watching. We are not just investors. We are the calm, the prepared, and the destined. Your peace is your power. Now go and claim it.